Brief history of Rogue Squadron. Luke Skywalker formed Rogue Flight after the Battle of Yavin, consisting of survivors, a group with no set flight mission profile, able to take on any mission that came their way. Wedge Antilles was his second in command. Together, they slowly created an elite force of talented pilots. During Hoth, it was known as Rogue Group. Due to the heavy loss at Hoth, Antilles, now in command of the Renegades and given command of Rogue Group by Luke, decided to form a full squadron. Keeping to Skywalker's idea of being an elite force that can be ready for any mission, a full squadron was formed, the Rogue Squadron, composed of the Rebel Alliance's 12 best pilots who survived its fiercest battles against the Empire. Later, Rogue Squadron went through a reformation. Potential Rogue pilots were tested and selected for their tactical and piloting skills. When Luke flew with the squadron, he assumed Rogue leader. Antilles made it clear they'd always be there when needed by Luke.
"It's Luke, Wedge,"
a familiar voice said.
"Sorry to drag you out of bed, but I need a favor. You feel like maybe getting your people into some trouble?"
"When aren't we in trouble?" Wedge countered, coming fully awake. "What's the deal?"
"Get your pilots together and meet me at the spaceport in an hour. Docking pad 15. We've got an old transport. We should be able to fit all your X-Wings aboard."
"It's a long trip then?"
"A few days. I can't tell you any more than that right now."
"You're the boss," Wedge said. "We'll be there in 1 hour."
"See you then. And thanks."
Wedge keyed off and rolled out of bed, feeling a stirring of old excitement. He'd seen a lot of action in the decade he'd been with the Rebellion and New Republic. A lot of flying, a lot of fighting. But somehow, the missions he remembered as being the most interesting always seemed to be the ones where Luke Skywalker was also involved.